Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871. This piece of junk phone, it cuts off on me. It's got plenty of memory, and then it just like will cut off on me. Very frustrating. All right. Um, Today I want to do some blogging. Maybe get outside my head here because I'm dealing with some pretty bad depression, and today we're going to talk about the second cyclist in Philadelphia to be struck. Once again, from all evidence that I'm gathering, this was a situation of filtering on the right side of a truck while approaching an intersection. And once again, the bicycle coalitions are all banding together, asking for better protected bike lanes, more pronounced repainting of the lanes, concrete bollards of some sort that segregates the bike lane from motor traffic. All of that is wonderful. I'm for it. It's got my approval. I just don't see how this could have prevented this second collision. I've spoken before about why I believe it happened. Just simply taking into account what I'm reading here. Once again, it seems like a complete rerun of the Emily Fredericks fatality. Luckily, though, this time this cyclist did survive, thank God. Let's read. Hold on, let me check to see if stupid phone hasn't cut off on me. All right, let's read here. Here is a picture of Becca Redford. Can you see that? Becca Redford on the bike in the hospital bed. Okay, let's read. Becca Redford remembers biking through a green light, seeing a flash of a truck turning sharply towards her, and the rest is mostly a blur. I went through the intersection and suddenly there was a truck, Redford 24 said from a hospital bed Saturday. I got super duper lucky. 3 weeks after a young woman was struck and killed riding her bike in Center City, Redford was severely injured in a crash just blocks away, prompting renewed calls for bike lane protection. Redford, a web designer who lives in South Philadelphia, was heading to a medical appointment Friday about 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. the sun should definitely be up, so, in Philadelphia. When she was hit by the box truck on 1200 block of Pine Street, the truck's driver went to make a right turn onto Pine, which has a bike lane, from 13th Street, when he heard a thump and thought he had struck a curb. Police said a witness flagged down the driver, who stopped and is cooperating with the investigation. Redford remembers trying to propel herself off the truck's side, but failing hard and getting trapped underneath as its back wheels crushed her legs. She is being treated at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital for a fractured pelvis, shattered hips, and scrapes and bruises, and will undergo surgery Monday. I said it in the last blog about this. Number one, do not filter a truck while approaching an intersection. You are asking for it. Again, they're talking about the whole protected bike lane. You can do that, but I'm still not seeing how that would have prevented this collision. So if you got your main road and a segregated bike lane, okay, if both of these vehicles are approaching, see, one of the things that I do, whether it's a huge truck or just another car, I flank the car length, the empty space car length. Hopefully drivers are not up each other's ass, but what I will do is I will stay off of the right rear portion of a vehicle that's in front of me while I'm filtering down the side. True, technically that's the vehicle's blind spot, but for me it's a moot point. I always treat, when traffic is moving and we're all approaching this intersection, okay? When we're all approaching the intersection and traffic and I have matched speed, so we're going at the same speed, we're all slowing down, approaching the intersection, I make sure that I am flanking the car length, the space in between the two vehicles to my left, because I don't care if the vehicle in front of me can see me or not. I'm always going to treat that vehicle as if it doesn't see me. Always, okay? And the vehicle in back of that vehicle, I would be at its 1 o'clock position. So it should have no issues whatsoever. It should be able to see me. There'd be no excuse whatsoever. So yeah, that's what I do. But I'll show you more about that in just a second here. If they're approaching, okay, this truck is going to be making a right turn. Now, this is what I call, because I don't know what the truck does. I'm not saying that this truck driver's in the right. By no means am I saying that he's in the clear here. This truck driver might be guilty of not using their turn signal at all, okay? And then they might be guilty of doing what I call a turn wheel turn signal. Let's see, hopefully I'll see if I can show you what I'm talking about without cutting off the camera. Okay, just want to, let's see. So I'm gonna hold it like this maybe. All right. So I know I'm holding the steering wheel up high, but I just want you to see when drivers got their steering wheel right, okay, approaching the intersection, when they're at the intersection, when they've come to a full stop at a red light or whatever the case may be, what they will do, they have a bad habit of sticking out their ring and pinky finger and activating their turn signal as they're turning the wheel. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, I call that a turn wheel turn signal. Okay, you are activating your turn signal as you're turning your steering wheel. Too little, too late. You're not doing anybody, be it a cyclist, pedestrian, or fellow motorist, any good. I'm almost certain most of your traffic laws are pretty much the same, state to state. This is Philadelphia, but in New Jersey, it's 100 feet. It has to be approximately 100 feet before you've reached your intersection that they want you to activate your turn signal, giving everybody enough time to get ready for what you're about to do. So did this truck driver commit a turn wheel turn signal? Did this truck driver use their turn signal at all? Also, once again, the same thing I said about Emily Fredericks, I'll say the same thing about Becca. Was the truck already turning when she slammed and collided into it? Or was it a matched speed? It probably sounds like it was a matched speed and the truck went to turn. She wasn't prepared for that truck turning because you're filtering on the right-hand side of it in its blind spot. Something you never ever do. We're going to talk more about that in just a second here. Check. All right, still recording. Yeah, so, she remembers trying to get off the bike, falling underneath. Everything is crushed. I said it's a... I'll show you what I said later on, but she goes on to say, I was just howling, almost animal-like, rolling around, writhing in pain, she said. Luckily, a lot of people stopped to help me. She was not wearing a helmet, but said She plans to never go without one again if I ever get comfortable enough to get back on the bike again. Redford said she never bikes wearing earbuds and her phone was in her pocket. Doctors told her she's looking at about 6 to 8 weeks of recovery. That's pretty good. No helmet, huh? I didn't see, like, unlike cheek flappers coverage, I didn't see any of the accidents seen here, so I can't say. So what I'm about to say is purely speculative. Was she riding a naked bike? And I'm not talking about naked bike ride. Riding naked, believe it or not, it's a term in the cycling community. It means your bike is stripped of all electronics. No head unit, no Garmin, no bike lights, no camera, no nothing. It's just you and the bike. It's called riding naked. It's extremely dangerous. I wonder if she had any bike lights. I'll link this and you can finish reading it at your leisure. But before we do, I just want to show you something. Excuse me while Okay, like before, I just want to show you something. Again, we're talking about the incredibly dangerous hazards of flanking and filtering at an intersection. Filtering. Oh, I see this big rig. Its turn signals are on. I abort. I fall into queue. Our big rig turns right. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I flank along, see, you can hear my brakes. Hopefully you can hear them. I slow to match traffic speed. Okay? I don't care if this truck had its turn signals on or not. In this instance, it did. It had its turn signals on early enough, communicating to all traffic behind it, and actually 360 degrees, you know. But even if it didn't, never, ever, ever filter. Meaning what you want to do is, you see the wheels, the back wheels here? If you get on the side of a lorry, an HGV, you never want to go in front of those back wheels, because we see how it turns, and this area right here is where we would have been. That would give us opportunity to make an emergency bail. But like I say, I'm not even going to put myself in that position to begin with. No experienced, learned vehicular cyclist should ever do this. Okay? We see exactly what happens when you do. You're asking for it. Okay? And we see how I immediately abort any and all efforts at filtering past this big rig, this oil tanker. Remember now, these things can't stop on a dime. Okay? And like I say, whether that big rig driver was using its turn signals or not, I always treat traffic that is ahead of me, whether it's a big rig or not, I always treat it as if it can't see me at all. And most times it can't. So, hey, the life you're saving is your own. Let's see, hold on a second here. Still recording good. Got enough in you for one more? Yeah, it's been a hell of a month. We're coming now out of Bucks County, PA. This is bad. This one, I saw a very brief clip, very poor video quality from a local surveillance, not a local surveillance store, but the surveillance camera of a local store. Very grainy. It's at night, you know, it's not the best resolution here. As we see, I'm sorry I don't have the video of it right now, but we see sparks fly. We're talking about, well, here, I'll read for you real quick. This is police, driver wanted after hit and run, kills cyclist in Bucks County. Bucks County, PA. Authorities in Bucks County are looking for the driver of a car that left the scene of a fatal hit and run in Bristol Tuesday night. The Bucks County Prosecutor's Office says a man riding a bicycle was struck by a vehicle on Route 13 near Silver Lake around 8 p.m. That's at night. The man on the bike was pronounced dead from injuries that he suffered. The victim's been identified as 52-year-old Kevin Williams Sr. Bristol Borough Police say the vehicle is believed to be a silver Mercedes that would have significant damage to the front end. The vehicle also left behind a vanity license plate with the Philadelphia Eagles emblem on it. I know they had a phone number here. I'd give you guys a phone number, but I don't have that right now. Of the smidgen of video that I saw of the collision, we saw sparks where the metal of the vehicle striking the bicycle striking the pavement. I did not see any type of lights. We saw the vehicle's headlights. I saw no head or tail light on the bicycle. From what I can see, this cyclist was riding naked. However, it is also believed that the Mercedes may have been doing one of those impromptu, ego-driven drag races with a Mitsubishi Eclipse, I think they said it was. So, drag racing. This cyclist, whether they had a bike light or not, it could be argued that they would have been hit anyway. We don't know the exact attitude of the vehicle, how it was being. It was I think they said it was an older Mercedes, like 99 or. I think they said it was an older Mercedes. Anyway. So that's what's going on. Just keeping it real. Hold on. Alright, still going. Just keeping it real with you guys. 2 deaths, 1 severe injury. I don't have all the details in really any of these cases, but from what I see, there is a little bit of partial blame to go out to the cyclist here. And, you know, these bicycles are not toys, okay? It's bad enough that the public and the police seem to think that they are for recreation, cruise, play, enjoyment. The prosecutor, during my appeal, even he had to catch himself and stop himself from saying, Mr. Dunbar is out here for recreation. Many aborts. See, it's the prejudice. It's the prejudice. Down in the comments section of all 3 cases, all the comments read the same. Damn cyclists, running signs, running lights, cutting us off, blah, blah, blah. It all reads the same. I don't care. No sympathy. You know, if you're going to be a vehicular cyclist, okay, if you're going to be utilizing the streets are not for enjoyment. Okay, that's why I get so angry when people accuse me of wanting to go, you know, for recreating. You know, I am not recreating. I am I am, this is my transportation, and that's what they're not getting, and they don't want to get it. It's my primary means of transportation. So, that's the prejudice that we're fighting, and they're not really helping it a whole heck of a lot if they're out there, you know. Again, I hate bureaucracy. Hate it. New York, those bastards are making e-bikes. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. The government is just cramming. It is just strong arm robbing the shit out of so many people out here trying to make it. And this isn't helping, you know. You're helping to build a case for requiring a license for cyclists, okay? For vehicular cyclists. You know, you're showing to the world why there needs to be a license. You know, you're on the streets. Yes, the law says you can be there, but how do I know you can, you know, pilot your bicycle in a safe fashion that won't be a detriment to yourself or anybody else? So, put it to you like this. Put it to you like this. If you're somebody, okay, let's just say I was a lose a shit ton of weight, super duper fast, and Team Sky or Team Lotto Jumbo or I Am Cycling, or I think they disbanded though, but if a BMC, if any of these pro cycling teams wanted to sign me, I can't just simply jump on the team, no matter how fast or how awesome I'd be. Do you know what I would need as a wannabe professional cyclist? Actually, not even professional. Even in the amateur grades, do you know what you need to participate in the fondues and the amateur races? You need a license. You need a race license. Okay. When you're in formation with these guys in the peloton, you know, when you have that race license, that tells everybody that you are experienced enough to be in the peloton. You're not a detriment to yourself, your own team, or any of the other teams. You're building a case. You know, you're laying the groundwork for creating the need for a vehicular cycling license. And you don't want that, because once the government's created the foothold and gets into your pocket, they're just going to jack up the price of the license every fucking year. Every other year. Up another dollar, another dollar. You don't want that. All right, I've ranted enough. I think I feel a little bit better. We'll talk about other stuff later. But I think I feel a little bit better. All right. Thanks for listening. Total Control 871. And please, do not filter at intersections. Total Control 871.